From walking the halls at UNLV to walking across the Miss USA stage, from growing up in foster care to now being the face of strength for young women across Nevada, Najah Ali is more than a beauty queen, but she's an advocate and a force for change. After graduating at UNLV with her bachelor's in broadcast journalism and studying abroad in Italy for 6 months, Najah Ali came back to Las Vegas with a mission to uplift the voices that often go unheard. And today, as your Miss Nevada USA 2024, she champions the causes close to her heart, surrounding mental health, education access for foster youth, and spreading awareness about epilepsy after the loss of her younger brother. This is her story on Behind the Dress. So Najah, first of all, you look great in this dress. It's actually from the dress shop. It looks breathtaking on you, the shimmer, the elegance. It's perfect to match your energy. Now, I do have to ask you, what do you look for in a dress when you're going to big appearances? Do you look for the drama, the confidence? What do you look for in a dress?
Oh my gosh, well, it's hard to pick because all the dresses are so different in their own ways. I am a sucker for shimmer and sparkle, as you can tell. I love it.
We love it too. I love it too. So now, Aja, you graduated UNLV in broadcast journalism, and I just have to ask you, what drew you to media and storytelling? Because I'm actually getting mine in journalism. So what drew you to media?
Yes, honestly, it was such a toss-up what I wanted to pursue in college. I was really afraid of going to college and taking a year or two to figure out what my major was going to be. And so in between high school and college, I took a year off and really tried to figure out what it is that I really like to do. And that was also during 2020 when the COVID pandemic was happening and all the protests, and it really just, I watched a lot of television news.
We all did.
And it just made me say, oh my gosh, like this is what I want to do. I love storytelling, I love being in front of the camera, everything about it, I was sold.
Yeah, you know, I think people sleep on journalism, but little do you guys know, it's the best major ever. It's great.
No, you learn so much, honestly, how to form a story, even going into things like video editing.
Exactly,
Like,
you learn
I love
everything.
it. No, seriously.
You get to create. So now you lived in Italy for 6 months, my dream, on the Gilman Scholarship. Now tell us, what did that experience teach you about yourself?
Oh my gosh, so I was there from January of 2023 to May of 2023. Yeah, in the winter in northern Italy. That was my first time even being out the country. Like, I was so scared, and you know, some people plan to go study abroad months in advance. I think I realized I'm quite the spontaneous person. I legit, a month before the deadline was due, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it.
That's
Filled out my application, sent it in. I think it taught me a lot about being spontaneous as well as just trying new things. I don't even like trying new foods. Like, I'm very picky. And so I look back at that time and I'm like, I cannot believe I did that. Like, I straight up went to Greece by myself for a week. Like, no other people. I was just there. And I look back at it now and I'm like, why did I do that? Like, I was kind of crazy back then. But I think all of that, like learning how to be more spontaneous and like try new things, led me into my pageant journey. Seriously. Because when I got back in the summer months, I was like, you know what? I'm emboldened. Like, I'm going to do it this year. This is my year. And I mean, it all ended up working out.
That's amazing. Like, being out the country, you just woke up one morning, you're like, you know what? Let me just go and study abroad.
Seriously.
I love it.
I think everyone should have that experience at least once, because it taught me so much about myself.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. So how did you go from the classroom to the crown with no pageant experience? You know, that's not that quite known. How did you do that?
Oh my gosh. I think I was reading the stats on it, and I think it said that I am the first Miss Nevada USA title holder to have no pageant experience since like 2013 or something crazy like that. I have to say, looking back at it now, especially since we're towards the end of my journey, if I knew what I knew now a year ago, I wouldn't have done it. Like, I don't even know what kind of strike of luck hit me a year ago where I was like, I'm gonna do this, but I'm just like, you were crazy. There's a lot that goes into it, and you know, it's not easy to put yourself out there and say, I'm gonna go for it. It's pretty difficult, but I'm so glad that I took that opportunity and I went for it.
That's amazing. And you got to represent the state of Nevada on the Miss USA stage. And, you know, that's only something a few women get to experience.
Seriously.
So what was that like? You know, tell us what really happens behind the scenes.
Oh
Tell the people, let us know.
Well, first, I think the statistic goes you're more likely to have a son play in the NFL than have a daughter go on the Miss USA stage.
Yep.
So even just that is insane. That was one of the hardest weeks, I would say. Just you're running on no sleep because you have to get up at 3 a.m. every day for hair and makeup. You're just running crazy all over the place. And then you have all the nerves of knowing that all of this is leading up to that big competition at the end. I will say that everyone was so nice, honestly. And that's something that's scary, kind of, especially about girls. Like, I won't lie. You don't know all the different dynamics that are gonna happen. And you know, everyone is competing for that same goal at the end. So I was afraid it would be catty, a little drama. Like, it was like summer camp, honestly. Like, everyone was so sweet and nice and helpful. If you forgot something, someone will let you borrow theirs. Like, there was really no competition. I think it was the overall gist of like, if this is yours, it's yours and it's not mine, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to take into every aspect, honestly.
And I feel like a lot of people with pageantry, they think it is always catty and it's drama, but it's actually so much sweet girls, and it's really inspiring to see women on that level as well.
It is truly a sisterhood, I will say. Coming into this, not knowing what to expect, and now being a year into this, I will say I have met so many amazing people who would quite literally give you the shirt off of their backs just to like see you succeed. And I think that's like a negative connotation of the pageantry industry, is that everyone's like sabotaging each other, and it's really not the case. Like, all of these girls are so driven and strong and beautiful, and it's just so amazing to see, honestly.
It is. And I know during this journey you had your mother with you. You mentioned that she's like one of your biggest supporters. How has she shaped who you are today?
Oh my God, I love my mom so much. Kisses to my mom. I can honestly say I would not be the woman that I am today without her. She is the most incredible, strong woman I've ever met. I am one of 8 kids. My mom actually just had a baby in January. So,
oh, congratulations, Mom.
No, seriously. And so, like, growing up, I didn't even really have like many friends. We moved around a lot growing up, and like my siblings were always my closest friends. And that's the family dynamic that I was raised in, which is that like blood is blood. You know, I will have your back forever. You're gonna have my back forever. And like, that's the like closeness that me and my family have. So like, my mom is just so strong. Like, I love her to pieces, truly.
I love that. We all love our moms.
Shout out to moms. No, seriously.
And now you've dedicated your platform to raising awareness about epilepsy in honor of your brother. So how did you find the strength to speak so publicly about something so personal?
I will say it's difficult. For those who don't know, my little brother Zion passed away last April 2024 to SUDEP, which stands for the sudden unexpected death of epileptic people. And he passed away in April, and I think he had just started experiencing seizures in January. So it was just so fast and so sudden. 2 weeks after his passing, I graduated from college. A month after that, I was walking the Miss Nevada stage, and there were times, even before all of that happened, that I was like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think that this is for me. You know, my emboldenedness was wearing off a bit. And I was just like, look, like, I don't think my mental space is in it. I don't think that this is my moment. And my mom was like, well, you got to do it, and you got to do it for him. And I'm like, oh, okay, well. It's hard to be vulnerable about stuff. I mean, to this day, grief comes in waves, as I'm sure everyone knows.
Absolutely.
There will be moments where I'm okay and I can talk about it without crying, and then there's times where I just break down. That's life, and that's love in general. And I think one of the best things I can do is use this title and this platform to spread his story and keep him alive.
Yes, absolutely. And I know you do work with Cure Epilepsy. What does that mean to you working with them?
It's so amazing. I mean, I think the statistics on SUDEP are like 1 in 1,000 epileptic people will experience that, which is scary. scary numbers. And so I think just raising awareness, again, just keeps the spirit alive, and just talking about it and spreading his story is awesome.
Yeah, and I know it inspires so many people who may go through the same exact thing. You just never know.
Yeah, seriously.
So you also shared that you grew up in the foster care starting at the age of 13. So what gave you the strength during that chapter of your life?
When I look back at my life, it genuinely feels like a story, but I think every awful thing that has happened is truly a building block for your character.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, we wouldn't be the people we are without the struggles that we go through.
Absolutely.
As much as they suck to go through them in the moment, when you're out, you can really reflect back on that and say, okay, that did make me a stronger person. I think because of that, I have an even stronger love for my family, and it's awful to have to experience that. And my heart goes out for every single individual who is struggling with familial abuse, and you know, it's a cause that's very near and dear to my heart.
And that's absolutely beautiful. And so when you open up about your story, what do you hope families walking through similar loss feel or understand?
I hope they understand that, you know, your darkest moments you're going to go through them, but you will come out stronger.
Absolutely.
I think something that I've had to hold on to hope to is that there is a rainbow at the end. No matter what you're going through, like, you will come out on top. And that's something that I think everyone can hear, is that little message just gives them hope to keep going.
Yeah, and that's a great way to look at it. That's a great way to look at it.
It does get better, I promise you.
Exactly. Just look at the rainbow, like you said. So what does Mind Matters means to you? That is your platform. And how are you bringing mental health to the conversation?
Yes, I think mental health is really important, and I think especially our generation, we've learned to really put a strong emphasis on taking care of our mental health. I'm a big advocate of protecting my energy, and I think that even goes into pageant weekend last year. I, again, had so many nerves going through, and I feel bad because I swear everyone thinks I was being so mean. I was so quiet all weekend. I was in the corner, I was meditating, I was praying, I was just asking for some guidance on if this journey is for me. And I think that that's how I prioritize my mental health. Everyone has their own way, but I think it's really about just taking care of yourself. Absolutely.
And I love how you mentioned how this generation, we do put a strong emphasis on mental health. So I'm happy you're using that with your platform.
Yes.
So this Sunday, as you get ready to give your crown to the next queen this Sunday, what are you most proud of from your reign?
Oh my goodness. It's so hard to recap 365 days. Wow. I think I've even had more than that, honestly. I think my favorite moment of my reign was walking for Sherry Hill at New York Fashion Week.
Amazing. That
was bucket list. That's been a dream of mine. I used to live in New York when I was 13, and so we would always go down to downtown Manhattan, look at the fashion shows. My mom would take me to like little modeling castings back when I was like kind of chopped, like super skinny. And she would be like, one day this is gonna be you. So even my mom even came to New York and was at the fashion show. So it was such an amazing experience to have with her.
It's like a close, like a hit to home, like a close run hit to home. Like,
it was so full circle. Like I was so excited and so happy.
That's amazing. And that's what opportunities, that's what it brings you, like competing in systems like Miss USA.
Yes, absolutely.
So as this chapter ends, it looks like you're stepping into a new season personally. So did we see a yes or something even more special than a crown?
Oh my gosh, yes. I got engaged last July, actually. We just celebrated our 1-year engagement anniversary. The number one question I get is, when is the wedding? My response is always, when I know, you'll know. Listen, I'm a very indecisive person, and once you start going down the rabbit hole of wedding planning, you realize it is difficult. Like there's a lot of decisions to be made, and it's hard. So we're gonna get through this, and then after the pageant, we will go full speed into wedding planning.
Absolutely. And I just have to ask you before this interview wraps up, what has pageantry taught you so far about yourself?
I think pageantry has taught me that chasing your dreams is so important. Yeah. I think everyone knows that, but I feel like I want to be the embodiment of don't be afraid to try new things, because you literally never know where you're going to end up. I have so many girls from this weekend who I've become close friends with, and they've just told me, your story has touched me so much, and I have no pageant experience either, and I'm nervous, and they're saying so-and-so is competing, so-and-so is my biggest competition. I'm like, you got to tune out all of that noise, because there's a lot of pageant Instagram accounts who can be kind of critical to your mental health as you're competing. And so I just say, block out all that white noise. People have no idea how it's going to go in that interview room, how it's going to go on that stage, what the judges are thinking. And so it's truly anyone's game. And so don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to try new things, and give it your all when you get on stage.
Absolutely. And what do you hope that the next title holder carries with her, not just on stage, but in her heart?
Oh my gosh, I hope she carries that authenticity. Yeah. I hope she remembers why she got to this platform and why she ended up with the crown. Again, I think, you will have some naysayers, you will have some people that will say, oh, well, so-and-so should have won. You got to block all that out, and you are the winner. That is what you have. Focus on Miss USA, focus on your prep, and focus on having an amazing reign. This has truly been one of the most transformative years of my life, and I'm so thankful to the Miss USA organization and my pageant director, Shayna Mokler, and just the entire Miss Nevada USA family. Just thank you for everything.
Yes, absolutely amazing. And before we wrap up this interview, I do have to ask you, if you could give one piece of advice to all the young women competing this Sunday at Miss Nevada USA 2025, what would it be?
I would say the biggest piece of advice I can give you is just go out there and leave it all on that stage. There's nothing worse than watching your performance back and saying, oh my gosh, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have gone harder. I wish I would have just given it my all, because, you have one opportunity to impress the judges, and just, you don't want to leave with any regrets. And so just have fun too. That's the most important part, is that, there will be one girl who walks away with a crown, but you will learn so much just from even being in that room. And so that's what I just want to stress to everyone.
And finally, when you look back on this chapter years from now, what do you hope Najah Ali, 10 years from now, remembers most about this moment in her life?
I hope I just remember that it's always just to be proud of yourself, I would say. I think, when things happen in life, you put yourself down and you say, oh no, I wish I would have done this differently. I wish I would have tried harder. I have some regrets about Miss USA. I'm sure everyone who's ever competed in anything wishes that they could have done better.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you can't look back on that. I watch some competition videos back, and I'm like, you know what? I actually did really good. I'm proud of myself. Give yourself
credit.
Yeah, just don't be too hard on yourself, and just remember that you're amazing.
Exactly, and you always have to remember that. Well, thank you so much, Najah, for coming and allowing us to interview you. Yeah. And thank you all for tuning into this episode of Behind the Dress. If Najah's story inspired you, feel free to subscribe, because we will have more conversations like this coming really soon. And if you are, or if you know someone who has a powerful story to share, feel free to message us, because we would love to hear from you.